Big thanks to Bernhard for sponsoring this episode.
I'm going to show you how to make smoked barbecue steaks. Last year around this time, I smoked a chuck steak. You guys loved it. We got over 1 million views on that video. And I understand the reason, because the chuck steak was cheap, it tasted amazing, and it was a great fun to make. But now there's a problem with that same chuck steak. It used to be cheap, but over time it got more and more expensive. At this moment in time, in the Netherlands, you're paying 25 euros the kilogram for a good chuck steak. No, don't blame it just on me. You did it. Morrison is trying to blame me, but I'm blaming you because you liked the video and you went out and bought that chuck steak. So don't blame me, blame yourself for making it. But I have the solution. I'm coming up with a new idea. What if we have a chuck steak that's only 18 euros the kilo, which means you're saving 7 euros. And if you got something like 3 kilograms, that's 21 euros. You can put it in your pocket or buy a bag of charcoal. Now you're wondering, what are you talking about? What's that new thing? Show me. Well, here it is. This is what I'm talking about. This is going to be our new smoked chuck steak. I'm calling it smoked barbecue steaks. Now this is not an original idea. I got inspired from one of the oldest pitmasters still working the pits. I'm talking about Tootsie from Snow's Barbecue in Lexington, and I heard she even knows about pitmastering, so that's kind of cool. It's like an amazing thing. If you don't know who Tootsie is, just Google her and you're gonna fall in love with her. So you're warned. But this lady is still going strong. More than 80 years old, working the pits, creating the best tasting barbecue in all of Texas Lexington. So definitely go check that out. But what they do is they got these really big shoulders, pork shoulders, and then they cut them up into steaks. And that's what you can get at their shops. Beautiful, thick pork steaks. Now I want to make a home version for you with the best cut of pork that you can use for these steaks. That's why I selected the pork neck, which is a part of the pork shoulder, but it sits on top of the pork shoulder, just like the chuck. So that's the comparison. This is a beautiful piece of meat with a lot of flavor, and it's going to be very, very juicy because it's got a lot of intramuscular fat. So we got an amazing piece of pork, and we're going to turn it into amazing smoked barbecue steaks. Let's get started. First, I'm going to trim off the excess fat. I don't want any hard chunks sitting on the outside of my steaks. Then I'm going to cut the pork neck into steaks. And the pork neck's also known as a pork collar, pork neck. In Dutch we call it a procureur. And I'm looking for thick steaks. Then I'm going to tie them up with butcher's twine to make sure that they keep their beautiful steak-like shape. Now I'm going to rub them with mustard, and this is going to help the rub stick to our steaks. I want to make sure that I hit all sides of our smoked barbecue steaks. Once I got a good layer on, I'm going to start working on our barbecue steaks. 1 part light sea salt, 1 part ground black pepper, 1/8 part garlic powder, and 1/2 part onion powder. Now mix that all up, and then we're going to sprinkle it onto our beautiful barbecue steaks. We want to make sure that we got a nice coating, and they should look something like this. I'm going to be smoking these barbecue steaks on the Bernhard pellet smoker, and I'm going to set it to a temperature of 120 degrees Celsius. I'm going to place them in the center of the barbecue, as I want them to get as much equal heat as I possibly can, especially in the cold weather of today. I'm going to stick a thermometer in each one of them so I can keep my eye on the core temperature. I'm using the meter thermometer, and I'm making sure that I don't push it in too far, because this part measures the temperature inside the barbecue, where the rest of the meter thermometer measures the temperature inside our steaks. Now it's time to close the lid and let these beautiful steaks pick up a smoke color. Our barbecue steaks are starting to look absolutely beautiful. You can see that the outside is getting a beautiful mahogany color, and at the same time the outside is drying up, which means we're forming a crust. We're going to help this process even further by making a spray. I'm going to make a super easy spray for our smoked barbecue steaks. All it needs is 2 cubes of dry chicken stock, but the cool thing about this chicken stock is that it's loaded with MSG. And if we spray this on a barbecue steak, it's gonna enhance the flavors of the steaks themselves. And what I'm looking for on the steaks is every time they dry up on the outside, I'm gonna spray them over the full 3 hours of smoking. Once they pick up enough bark and enough smoke color, I'm going to wrap them in aluminum foil. That's going to protect them from drying out, and it's going to speed up the cooking process. Once they're fully cooked, and I'm talking about a core temperature of 92 to 94 degrees Celsius, we're going to take them out of the foil and we're going to make a barbecue sauce. And I'm starting with 2 cups of ketchup. And because I want our sauce to match up with the steaks, I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of mustard, 2 tablespoons of our steak rub, and for a rich dark flavor, I'm going to add sweet soy sauce, otherwise known as ketchup manis. That's around a tablespoon. Of course, I want to bring some heat with some habanero hot sauce. You can add as little or as much as you like. To make everything sweet and sticky, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of honey and 3 tablespoons of cane sugar. Now bring that up to temperature, and I'm looking for a beautifully syrupy bubble while all of our sugar and salt crystals are dissolved. We just hit the core temperature of 96 degrees Celsius on our smoked barbecue steaks. Oh, I'm so excited. Let's open one up. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Now that is a beauty. It's not fall apart tender, but it's just in between brisket tender and fall apart pulled pork tender. And that's the exact sweet spot. That is what I'm looking for. I'm gonna take these out really carefully and gently. You see all those juices. Don't throw that away, that's amazing stuff. I'm gonna give these steaks a minute to evaporate the moisture that's on the outside of the steak. Now I'm gonna put them back on the barbecue, and we're gonna brush on a barbecue sauce that I made. I cut that beautiful pork neck into steaks, tied it up with butcher's twine, covered it with mustard, and then put on a beautiful steak rub. Smoked it for at least 3 hours until we picked up that color, while spraying it with chicken stock loaded with MSG. Then I wrapped it up in aluminum foil and let it cook until they were juicy and tender. Made a barbecue rub and brushed it on until they looked so good that the only thing left to do is eat them all. Yes, yes, yes. I know, it looks good. We got smoke ring, we got the sticky outside. It's tender, it's juicy. Look, like tenderness wise, it isn't fall apart, but it's almost fall apart. It's exactly what you're looking for when you're cooking ribs. It's the same thing. You got these little threads of meat, a little bit of fat on the inside. It's juicy, it's smoky. We got the rub. So let's try this.
I'm so ready for this. I have my postal office outfit on. I'm ready to eat. You also ready? No. I'm joking.
The first thing that comes to mind, I taste pork. And that's so important, because that's the thing that we loved about that chuck. It tasted like beef, real beef. And of course, whatever you do with it, it's still gotta taste like meat. Because that's why we cook meat. Otherwise, it could have been bread or anything, like a vegan dish or whatever, but it's gotta taste like meat.
It's so deliciously porky. Leave me alone, please. It's amazing. It's smoky, juicy. I have the feeling that I can eat way more of this than a chuck steak.
This is a thick cut of meat with a lot of layers of flavor. That's good.
I want to eat pork all the time. I want to eat this all the time. And the sauce is so good.
Look at the dog being happy.
And look at me being happy.
Yeah, that's the danger, because where's the me in this story? I want to eat this on my own. I don't need anybody to eat this with me. I wish I was alone right now.
When you were alone, you're able to eat all of those steaks? 5 of them.
No,
That's amazing.
I
That
am-
is amazing.
I am amazing.
I want to keep on eating. I
Yeah.
can't stop. This is amazing. Can I have like one more piece and then I go that way for the new video?
One more.
One more?
más. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for checking out the recipe on pitmasterx.com, and I want to thank you for following us on Facebook, Instagram, and everything. Big thanks to our patrons and our YouTube members. See you next time. And while you're at it, click on the video so you can watch the next video. It's so awesome, that video. It's freaking delicious. We got another recipe going for you. It's insane. If you miss out on it, it's your own fault.